Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. There are few sentences more dangerous in a meeting than does everybody agree? Because everybody looks around and the boss is smiling and nobody wants to be the difficult person. And suddenly 12 people agree to a plan that none of them actually believes work. Then the meeting ends. The real conversation begins in the parking lot. I didn't think this was a good idea. Neither did I. Why didn't you say anything? Why didn't you? That is not harmony. That is a group project in pretend mode. And sooner or later, somebody has to pay the price for everything the room was too polite or too afraid to say. Good morning, everyone. Today, we are getting up and after it here on Kindness Rising. Jess is out there. Kathy is here. Hello, Kathy. Welcome in. I am so glad you guys are here with me this morning, back in the studio after a little outdoor adventure yesterday. It's a great day out on the deck, excuse me. And maybe I'll do that again someday. But today we are back and Sully is here. So now we can really get started. The program can start because Mike Sullivan is in the house today, and we're going to do all of our usual segments, a little bit of a spark. I've got a kind of indifferent who's who today for you. We're going to talk about the Constructive Dialogue Institute for sure, and carry on with my story of the joke that I told my father that absolutely bombed, failed, and what a 12-year-old comedian might have done with that information. Absolutely. All right, let's get going. Today on Kindness Rising, Sully and Jess and Kathy and everybody else who's out there and wants to subscribe to the channel and join me every weekday morning, 7:30 a.m. Eastern, live right here on Kindness Rising, your morning dose of hope, humanity, and heart. Subscribe to the channel for more high fives for humanity and less rage bait. Yep, we're getting going now. Roseanne is in the house. The full Kindness crew. Come join us. Who else is out there? Don't be afraid. People are talking with each other. This is a group that is the most welcoming group you'll ever find on the internet. Let's go back. Let's go back to the 12-year-old comedian. I walked into the room with my first big piece of stand-up material, delivered the joke. My father did not laugh. Instead, he said, I don't get it, and I wouldn't repeat it because no one else will either, and you don't want to sound stupid. I'm going to turn the music down a little bit. There we go. We spent the last few days examining what happened next. At 12, I interpreted that message as complete rejection. With time, I began to recognize a different message. The joke didn't fit the audience. The material needed work, and one failed joke did not mean the person telling it had no voice. But today I'm asking a different question. What would have happened if Dad had simply laughed? Not because the joke was funny, not because he understood it, but because I was his son and he wanted to be nice. Imagine the scene. I deliver that crass punchline. Dad forces a smile and gives me an enthusiastic, oh, that's great, sonny boy. All right, Matt. Oh, good job. I leave the room feeling like the next Richard Pryor. Good for me. And then the next day I take that same joke to school. Maybe I deliver it at the lunch table or at class, or worse yet, in front of one of the rosary-clutching nuns of the St. Thomas Aquinas Elementary. And suddenly Dad's artificial laugh does not feel very kind. It feels like he let me walk into traffic because he didn't want me to be uncomfortable in the driveway. That's the danger of artificial harmony. It feels peaceful now, but it creates pain later. We tell ourselves, it's just not the right time. They already have something going on. Or the worst one, it's probably not that big of a deal. Sometimes those thoughts are wise because not every confrontation or not every little debate, imperfect idea requires a confrontation. And not every truth needs to be spoken immediately. But sometimes we're not protecting the relationship. We're protecting ourselves from the discomfort of honesty. We don't want the awkward silence. We don't want the other person to be disappointed or for them to become defensive. We don't want to be seen as negative or difficult or unkind. That's true. So we smile and we nod and we say, looks good. Yeah, looks good. Yep. Mm-hmm. And then we quietly hope reality delivers the feedback we were really unwilling to provide. My dad didn't do that. He didn't offer artificial applause. He didn't protect the joke from reality. And I really couldn't understand it when I was 12. Maybe that uncomfortable moment was more loving than a comfortable lie. I'm still holding back the final piece of this story for you all. But tomorrow you'll hear about what that moment meant to my father. But today, let's sit with the question. When we avoid an honest conversation to keep the peace, are we actually being kind, or are we just postponing the conflict until it becomes more expensive? That's today's Kindness Spark. Good morning, good morning, good morning. If you're out there, come join us. Say hello in the chat. We are getting up and getting after it. Right, Sully. Sully says I might have told an inappropriate joke and been suspended. Yeah, well, I've got a story about that too, but that's a different side. Holy tough. Hello, Florin. Nice stuff. Florin is tough. Florin is tough. Got it. Florin is tough. Come on in and join the kindness crew. You can be tough in here too, but you can also show your entire self. Everybody's made up of it all. We're tough. We're kind. We're soft. We're scared. We're strong. We're all those things. That's what we are here at Kindness Rising. Angry sometimes. Mostly happy. Mostly happy and mostly just grateful. Grateful that you are all here with me. All right. Let's get to our who's who, because that's what everybody's really waiting for. What is this contest or this game that you're talking about that you play? Well, let me tell you all. This game is called Who in the World, and every day I give 3 clues. We're talking about a person maybe related to our topic, or they're having a birthday today or an anniversary or something significant that happened on this day. I'll be honest with you, this is the anniversary of this person's passing, so he came up on my list, but his work lives on for sure. Earned an MBA from Harvard before becoming one of the world's best known leadership thinkers. MBA from Harvard and a leadership thinker. That's the world we're living in. And that a lot of people fit that category, I guess, but that's what we're operating in right now as we switch into our kindness spotlight. The kindness spotlight, every single weekday morning, we highlight an organization that's doing good work for good people. We wait for the drop, and then we introduce our friends from the Constructive Dialogue Institute. Constructive Dialogue Institute. There they are. Sharpens thinking, research-backed, proven effective programs to foster a culture of inquiry, dialogue, and free expression. Sounds like a pretty good alignment with our organization here at Kindness Rising, too. They teach people how to become more curious, how to recognize the assumptions shaping their reactions, how to ask better questions, and how to disagree without turning the other person into an enemy. That connects directly to today's lesson because artificial harmony tells us keep the room comfortable. Constructive dialogue asks, can we make the room strong enough to hold the truth? That doesn't mean every disagreement ends in agreement. Sometimes people listen carefully, understand one another better, and still reach different conclusions. But now the disagreement is clear, more thoughtful, less personal, and far more useful. Remember, the goal is not less disagreement, it's better disagreement. That's kindness. Not pretending the differences are gone, but building the capacity to work together through them. Thank you. All right, check them out. That is our friends from the Constructive Dialogue Institute. Absolutely. All right. Switching gears again with our friends. What's happening out there today? Any news out there from you guys? What's going on in your world today? I am continuing to work on my mornings in the lab things. I'm working on the Without a Net. I'm going to be loading more and more videos, more content. No, look for me. I'm going to take some of this material and turn it into more of a series, more produced series. I love going live, and this is where it really happens. But you got to mix it up a little bit. So I'm going to try to do some actual production of the series. It'll be interesting to see what happens. Follow along right here on YouTube and LinkedIn in the mornings in the lab. That's what we're doing. We're getting up and getting after it every day, every single weekday morning, 7:30 a.m. Eastern. All right. Got a little scratchy today. I'll tell you, corn is out. I love corn. And I got some fresh corn yesterday, and I made a paneer for myself, quick boil, and started eating it, and a kernel went the wrong way, man, and I think I'm still feeling it. Why did I share that with you? Because my voice sounds a little weird. It's because I have a kernel down there. Yep, I ate a kernel corn. I inhaled a kernel. Anyway. Well, let's not be confused about it. I am still here, and still listening to the Spotlight Anthem, but we're going to switch into, wait, that happened. There's no confusion about this. At 5:30 in the morning on July 16th, 1945, the world entered the nuclear age. In the New Mexico desert, scientists were working on the Manhattan Project and detonated the very first nuclear device in human history. The test code name, Trinity. The device, the gadget, was raised to the top of a 100-foot steel tower, and when it exploded, the flash lit the surrounding mountains. The tower was vaporized, and the heat transformed material beneath it into a green glass-like sand. The explosion was considered a technical success. The team had accomplished something that only a few years earlier had seemed impossible. But technical success, of course, is not the end of the story. It was the beginning of the much harder conversation. Less than a month later, atomic bombs dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The war ended soon after, but historians, scientists, veterans, survivors, ethicists, and governments have continued debating that decision ever since. Was it necessary to end the war? Were other options available? How many lives might an invasion cost? How should we understand the deaths, suffering, and long-term effects experienced by the civilians, and what responsibilities come with creating a weapon powerful enough to change the future of humanity? Those questions don't have simple answers, and they shouldn't. This is exactly where today's lessons matter. A group of brilliant people can work together to solve an incredibly difficult problem and successfully achieve the mission they were given, but a team can accomplish its goal and still ask, should we? What happens next? Who carries the risk? Whose voice is missing from this decision? That's artificial harmony becoming dangerous when the mission grows so important that questioning it begins to look like disloyalty. Healthy conflict doesn't prevent progress, but it does help us examine the direction of that progress. Absolutely. We still discuss the Trinity tests because the questions surrounding nuclear weapons, war, responsibility, civilian suffering, survival, they remain unsolved. What can we learn? Success should never end the conversation. Sometimes success is the moment when the most difficult questions really have to begin. That happened today, July 16th, 1945. Jerry Ginger's in the house. What's up, Jerry? Holy crap, Jerry. I saw the oh yeah, I could be feeling the smoke. That's a good point, Mom. Sorry. I'm bouncing around because I'm like, what? All my friends are talking. It's so nice. Right, one thing at a time. Jerry Ginger, your possum problem. Do you have more possums this morning? Was it a problem? I don't know if it was a problem. It looked like you were actually enjoying it. Jess, yeah. They hoped it would end all wars, the war to end all wars. Yeah, got a raccoon this morning, Jerry. Yeah, no, it was not the war to end all wars, that's for sure. Absolutely. And you're doing your laundry. Yeah, gotta keep it clean. All right, keep it clean. And yeah, Mom, I know we are experiencing here dramatic. This is the worst cup, by the way, that I'm drinking out of today. Very dramatic effects, of the wildfires in Canada blowing down here into New York State. All right. Good Lord, time is flying. I am yakking away. I might not get to everything today. That's okay. I'm having fun. We do have to do the who's who, though. That's my commitment to you. So even if I have to give you two close, really quick, back to back, we'll do it that way. All right. Who in the world? Clue one. He earned an MBA from Harvard before becoming one of the world's best-known thinkers. Clue number two. His work is often reduced to a simple list of productivity tips, but there's so much more underneath. MBA leadership thinker with a list of productivity tips that really has so much more underneath. Absolutely. All right. Pacing. Do. All right. I do want to I'm trying to decide what to do and not to do on the fly here. Maybe I can blow through some of this stuff. Not blow through it. It's important. It's important stuff. I always promise to bring support for what we're talking about, right? And Monday's lessons, if you remember back, started with the absence of trust. In this book, Patrick Lencioni's 5 Dysfunctions of a Team. That's where the ideas are coming from. The absence of trust, absolutely the foundation of dysfunction and problems in teams. I believe that. I've seen it. I've experienced it. It's not just research. It's real. But the second one, what evolves from that is a fear of conflict. When people don't trust one another, they won't take the risk of honest disagreement. So teams create artificial harmony. Meetings appear calm, people remain polite, nobody challenges the leader too directly, but the disagreement doesn't disappear. It just moves underground, completely privately. People start forming alliances. They replay the meeting with everyone except the person who could actually deal with what's going on, addressing the problem. And it's because the real concerns were never tested openly. The team ends up making weaker decisions. Healthy conflict is different from personal combat. Of course, it's not yelling and humiliation, interrupting, questioning motives, and turning every meeting into a segment on the evening news. But it does allow people to say, I see things differently. I don't believe the evidence supports that conclusion. I understand the goal, but I disagree with the plan. Or I think we're avoiding the real issue. That kind of conflict may create temporary discomfort, but temporary discomfort can prevent long-term dysfunction. Unfortunately, artificial harmony reverses that. It creates temporary comfort, but long-term resentment. And the goal is not conflict for conflict's sake. Nobody needs a meeting where every sentence becomes a debate. The goal is enough trust that disagreement does not threaten belonging, that we can challenge an idea without attacking the person who offered it. We can disagree with the leader without becoming disloyal, and we can change our minds without losing status. But we can leave the room committed to the final decision, even when it wasn't the preferred choice, because we know our concern was genuinely heard. Artificial harmony says, let's not make this uncomfortable. But psychological safety says, this may be uncomfortable, but we can handle it together. The research tells us what's true. Without a net helps us put it to work. All right. Absolutely. Absolutely. What's going on? I see some chitter chatter videos in the 40s. We want to. Oh, here we go. Now we're getting into it. Jerry. Oh, wow. Jerry's got letters from his father who was in the U.S. Army in the Battle of the Bulge. That's cool. He went to go take a look. He was making. Oh, that's an interesting story. Oh, do you have any of his instructional films? That would be cool. Jared Ginger's father was making instructional films. I've seen a lot of. I'd rather talk about this than the other stuff. I've seen a lot of some of the like propaganda films, the U.S. Army films. I like to watch that kind of stuff. Like, what was it like back then? You know, the previews before the movie, the newsreels, those kind of things. Yeah, I get into that kind of geeky stuff once in a while. There's some really interesting things, and I love the way things were shot, particularly in the 40s and the 50s, the black and white, just the whole vibe. But I would love. That's really, really, really cool. Really cool. Film at 9. Oh, film at 9, Jerry. Sorry, I'm okay. I'm going to get back to my story, but I just had to catch up. Film at 9. Oh, you're going to drop another. You're going to drop another raccoon, another capture. Cool. Check out Jerry Ginger's channel. Some great stuff. Fun content of real life stuff that's happening. Absolutely. All right. Let's return quickly to the joke, and then I'll get to our third clue, and we'll skip the Grateful Dead. How about that? That's what we'll do. We'll talk about the Grateful Dead later. But let's return to that joke. Remember, my dad had 3 basic options. He could laugh even though he didn't think it was funny. He could attack me personally, or he could have told me the truth. He chose the truth. Was his language perfect? No, we've already acknowledged that. But he also didn't pretend. He did not send me back into the world believing the material was ready and that it was what. And yeah, he didn't send me back into the world thinking that material was ready. Absolutely not. And that's really what healthy teams need from each other, not cruelty and not constant criticism, not people searching for flaws so they can prove how smart they are. They need colleagues willing to say, I believe in you enough not to lie to you. Artificial harmony disguises itself as kindness, just trying to keep the peace. But peace and silence are not the same thing. A team can be very quiet and deeply unsafe at the same time. A family can avoid every argument and still carry years of resentment. A friendship can remain polite long after it has stopped being honest. No conflict does not necessarily mean no problem. Sometimes it means nobody believes speaking up will help. Absolutely. All right. So that's it. Let's speak up. Speak up. All right, let's get to our clue. We are off track for the live show. I don't care. We had a great conversation, and that's what we're here for, talking to each other. This isn't just about me blabby blab. Private Snafu was the character. All right, guys. I just realized I'm confused about this conversation. Jess, it's you that had the father who was in World War II. Is that what you're telling me? I got confused. Okay, now we're back on track with my crew here. Now I know who's who. Okay, there it is. Our last clue. I just dropped it. I just clicked and there it was. So no introduction needed. The 7 habits of highly effective people includes the instruction: seek first to understand, then to be understood. The 7 habits of highly effective people. Do we know this leader who has deeper ideas than just a list and wrote the 7 habits? Think about it for a second. I'll do my compass and we will get back to it. Here it is, the kindness compass. Today's kindness compass offers 3 ways to move beyond artificial fun. First, ask for the disagreement. Don't end a conversation with, does everybody agree? How about asking, what are we missing? Who sees this differently? Or one I've heard before, anybody have a strong argument against this plan? Or what is the strongest argument against this plan? Make disagreement part of the process, not an act of rebellion. Number 2, name the parking lot conversation. When concerns appear after the meeting, don't solve them privately. Say this is important enough to bring back to the group. The goal is not to embarrass anyone. It's to teach the team that real conversation belongs in the room. And lastly, challenge the idea, not the person. Describe the concern specifically. Ask questions, explain the impact, and remain open to being influenced. You can say, I disagree with this recommendation without saying you clearly have no idea what you're doing. Invite disagreement. Bring the real conversation into the room and challenge ideas without diminishing people. That is today's kindness compass. All right. Did anybody get the answer? Does anybody care? Oh, I'm so confused. Okay. Yes. Good morning, good morning, good morning, Cheryl. Thanks for jumping in. We are winding down here on Kindness Rising. We're all going to get over to Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends in just a couple of minutes as we wind up our team. All right. Jess has no idea. Nobody else is jumping in. All right. Maybe Cheryl knows. Cheryl, you came in late. You want the clues? Here's the clues real quick, and then I'm going to do my conclusion. Earned an MBA from Harvard, a leadership thinker, often reduced to a simple list of productivity tips. The 7 habits of highly effective people. He includes the instructions: seek first to understand, then to be understood. Who is it that I'm talking about? Stephen R. Covey. No, Franklin Covey. We know this in business. We know this. One of the all-time great personal growth and business effectiveness. Yes, you got it. You got it, Cheryl. All right. Awesome. All right. Stephen Covey. Never heard of the name. That's great. Well, now you have. Now you have, Kathleen. You might want to check out the 7 habits of highly effective people. People think it's just a list, but underneath it, it has a much more human idea, and that strong relationships do not require everyone to think alike. And he is responsible for the overused word in consulting, one of the more overused word in consulting. Synergy. No, it's true. Synergy. It is. He coined that term in this sense, really. Absolutely. All right. I'm running late, but I'm going to pull it together with my kindness thread. Let's pull it together. On Monday, we learned that trust must come before truth. On Tuesday, we looked for the light inside imperfect feedback. Wednesday, we explored how truth gets translated between intention and impact. And today, we asked whether avoiding discomfort is really kindness. My father could have laughed. He could have protected the moment. He could have sent 12-year-old Matthew away believing that every joke he told was brilliant. Instead, he risked disappointing me. And tomorrow we'll complete that story. You'll hear how my father remembered that moment decades later. Friday's lesson is honest doesn't mean hurtful, because truth matters, but how we deliver it matters too. Thank you for joining me here at Kindness Rising, where we remember that kindness is not soft, it's a strategy. And vulnerability is not weakness, it's a method. And psychological safety is not a poster on the wall. It's a daily practice. Come on back tomorrow morning where we might be getting shown the light in the strangest of places. Absolutely. Thanks for joining me here today. Come on back tomorrow morning. Until then, stay uncommon and stay kind.